If you're watching this, it's because most likely you are part of my YouTube channel. And you've noticed that I've done a couple videos on there. One of the videos that I did on one night I couldn't sleep was I just read a story that encourages me sometimes when I'm having a hard time. So after I read that story, I actually got some feedback of, can you read some more? Especially during this pandemic that we are living right now, it was just encouraging to know that something that was kind of like last minute actually encourage many women out there. So I've decided, based on one of the recommendations of one of my friends, to read the book From Lemons to Lemonade, Faith Building Stories from Real Women. Now, this book I published with the help of some friends. So I am actually looking forward to reading this. Hopefully the goal is that I will read a story Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I hope that you enjoy the stories in this book. So I'm gonna get started. From Lemons to Lemonade, Faith Building Stories from Real Women. Published by Olivia Hudson, me, and friends. Okay. And my glasses. Forward. I am honored to write the foreword for this book. But when I really think about it, if anyone should write this, it should be me. Why? Because I've not only witnessed the amount of heart and effort that has gone into its creation, but I've reaped the most benefits from the growth and maturing that has occurred during its development. Years ago, Olivia had a dream of writing a book that could help Christian military spouses. Because after she decided to become a Christian, it was very challenging for her. Unfortunately, someone whose opinion she valued at that time unknowingly derailed her dream. Although my wife was discouraged, she never let up on her convictions to help others see that walking with God is the answer to any situation. One of the benefits of moving around so much for my military assignments is the amount of friends and relationships that have developed over the years. These are more than the random friends in social media. These are people who can be called upon to talk to and stay connected with. Also, they can be called upon to when help is needed, just as they were called for the development of the book that you are now holding. This book contains in its pages women from all walks of life. When you take the time to go along with them and share their life experiences, you will discover that maybe, just maybe, what you are going through right now is shaping you for something to come. Or maybe the discovery of new strength that you did not know you were capable of. The closer this book came to completion, the closer I saw my wife come to life as one of her dreams of publishing a book to help others was actually happening. It was not an easy process, but she embraced it. Embraced with uncertainty. The range of emotions that were revisited as she delved into her past to gather the ingredients for what will ultimately become refreshment for others to benefit from. Since I helped with some of the editing, I was reminded that the ingredients of life include the good and the bad. However, at the end of every struggle, or challenge, no matter how big or small, we learn that we can share with others so that they can ignite the unexpected flavors that are sometimes hidden in the unfortunate events in our lives. This book may be the sweetener you've needed to open up your own lemonade stand. Corey Hudson Sr. If you don't know, that is my husband. Acknowledgements. I want to thank God for giving me exactly who I needed when I needed them to make this possible. I have so many people to thank for their contributions to this book. My beloved husband and children who have supported me in words and actions through the making of this book since the day the idea was born. My friends Angela Moreno, Alisa Rolay, Mitsuyo Spray, Tracy Page, Candace Fati, and Zenja Glass, who volunteer hours of their time to help me with editing, illustration, and lots of brainstorming ideas. My parents who support me and love me. Thank you to all who prayed, loved, and sometimes cried with me. Thank you for walking with me on this adventure. And today I will be reading the introduction and possibly chapter 1, depending on how long the introduction is. Introduction. Since I was little, writing has always been my form of escape from the torments in my life. When I write, I feel free. Free because I don't feel judged, and I don't have to measure my words or think about my grammar. It doesn't matter if I have the right facial expression or even if I make sense. Writing is what has kept me dreaming, kept me hoping, and kept me safe. In 1995, I became a Christian, which was the best decision I ever made in my life. Now, I'm writing to someone, not just to thin air or to myself. I share my thoughts, my fears, my joys, and my disappointments with God. As time passed, I began to share this with my friends. If someone were having a hard time, I will pull out one of those writings from my journal and share it with them. The more I shared, the more I heard over and over, you should write a book. I have heard that same statement for 20 years. I often began to write, but I never followed through due to fear. I have tons of writings on what I have learned and continue to learn. Some of the topics include how to open your heart, even if you have to pry it open. How to remember that you are a married woman and not a single mom, even though your husband is not around as much as you want. What to do when your adult children make choices that hurt you. How to walk a road that God has clearly marked out for you when all you know is how it starts, but not how it ends. How to embrace a child that you did not give birth to while she hurts you because she is so hurt. How to care for the little girl inside you that you didn't even know was hurting until you turned 30. Those are some of the things I have written about. Even though there are many topics, I have never felt that each one individually was good enough for a book. Because I have such a long way to go to be considered wise in any of these areas. One day, I said to my beloved husband of 22 years, wow, we actually are going to be married 28 years this month. I wrote this when we were only 22 years married. Honey, you know how much I want to write a book? And you know how much I have been encouraged to do so. You know, I love how God can use the bad and turn it into good. You know that it is my desire to help women see that God is a God of comfort and of love, and that He does not leave us nor forsake us in spite of what we are going through. You who know me best, what would you encourage me to write about? His response is what inspired me to write this book. Honey, I think you are trying to fit into a box, and you are trying to think of what the woman that read your book want to hear. However, you are not a fit into a box type of woman. You are complex and have not just one focus to share, but many. And you are good at writing about life and how to deal with it. So I know this may sound generic, but write about life, your life. You don't have to fit it into a topic, and if you do, it won't be you. You think outside the box, and that is what makes you you. So don't focus on a topic, just write. After hearing him, I told him that writing should be something simple, like making lemonades out of lemons. And he said, yes, that is how this book came about. This book is a collection of how lemonade was made from lemons in my life. It's not just my lemons, but I also asked a few close friends whom over the years it's been an honor for me to enjoy watching God create the most delicious lemonade. I hope you enjoy my lemonade stand. There are many flavors, but they all have one thing in common. They started with a lemon, which although was the bitter ingredient, it became so sweet when the sugar, water, and other flavors were added. I will not have a lemonade stand of life if I did not have lemons. In this book, I celebrate the lemons that produce very delicious, sweet lemonade. My prayer for any woman who reads this is that you will embrace the lemons in your life, and that one day, after you have persevered, you will enjoy sweet lemonade and give glory to God. Remembering the words of James 1:12, blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. The following is a quote from a very close friend named Cynthia Glass, who has allowed God to make lemonade from her lemons. Her words represent the heart of every story in this book. For those of you going through present trials and tribulations, don't lose heart. Don't you dare lose heart. Don't you dare run away from seeing God's deliverance. Don't you dare give Satan the glory. Don't you dare give up on life. Don't you dare believe the lies Satan is telling you. Don't you dare forget Jeremiah 29:11. Don't you dare give in to depression. Don't you dare believe your life will be better off if you were dead. Don't you dare think God isn't near you. Don't you dare think God doesn't care. He does care. That is why he's desperately trying to get you to look up and see him. See his face, see his deliverance, see his plan for your life. And I think this is a good place to stop.